Hey guys, hey guys, sorry about that. Didn't have my video started yet. I just thought I'd make a video, and you noticed the title of my video, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Pardon me, I'm still, sick all the time. Uh, but just a second. Gave me a terrible taste in my mouth. Um, I wanted to talk about why I think people hate the holidays. Because I think it's the same reason that I kind of hate them. And I look terrible on this video. But I think a reason that I hate the holidays, and I mean, I don't hate them. I don't mean that I despise them. I want to ban them for everybody or, anything like that. But just like today, I went to our family get together. I didn't want to go, but I went, you know, I'm the only single guy there, the only one, except for my uncle, but that's because my aunt died. He's in his 70s. Yeah, come on. Um, I went, I'm the only single guy. And no one really spoke to me hardly the whole time I was there. That's fine. I mean, I don't think they were being mean, but I had nothing to say. Um, when you're single as a guy or a girl, you get left out. I know that that our society tells us, that marriage is down, and it is. People don't get married until way later, but they do eventually get married. And right now, I'm the only one that isn't married, and you're still left out if you're not married. You don't fit in. You don't, it's like you're not there now. Yeah, there's three single people there besides me, my uncle, my mom, of course, widowed, and my aunt, also widowed. Oh, well, my uncle, my bad, all three, widowed. But that's different. They were married. I wasn't. And I don't have any kids, no grandkids, obviously. And you just don't fit in. And when you're somebody like me, too, you have to hear about. I mean, all of you that watch my videos know what my life has been like. The last 2 years alone have been hell, literally, you know. And really, my life has never been that good. I mean, the last 2 years have been a nightmare, but my life in and of itself hasn't been very good. And you you go in there, and for example, I have to watch my cousin and his wife. They're the hosts of the get together. Play with their kids. They have one boy who's about 5 or 6, and they have a little girl that was just born. She's about 4 months old. And I have to sit there and watch them play with them and give them gifts. Well, I can't do anything like that. And I don't know if I ever should have been married anyway. I don't know if it would have ever worked out. But it sure never worked out for me. And for many reasons. Some I think might have been my choosing. Most I don't think were. Because, like I said, and we all know if you're a man and you can't get a good job, you're in trouble right off the bat. And if you have no employment, unless you're rich, you're done. You'll never marry. So, because men are expected to work and women are not expected to work. Okay, we get it. Sorry about that. But my knee, it's a little sore. But I'm sitting there having to listen to that. And then my other cousin comes in. She doesn't have any kids, but they got good money. My other cousin that has the kids, him and his wife, he makes good money. So they got a good home. And they make plenty of money. And their kids are spoiled rotten. They're not evil kids, obviously, but they're still spoiled. and they get them great gifts. I never got a lot of great gifts. I mean, I had gifts. I'm not going to say I was destitute in that department, but I mean, my Christmases were okay. I never thought they were that great. Um, I don't miss any of them because they weren't that good, except for my grandmother and my aunt, which I'll get to in a minute. And you know, you have to sit there and and watch them with their kids. Then I have a cousin who doesn't have kids. They're in their 40s, but they have good money and they get to travel all the time. Something that I always wanted to do. And they're sitting there talking about all the trips they're taking, flying everywhere. And it's like, I'm never going to get to do that. I'll never get to do anything like that ever. And it makes me sad. I get envious because I don't have anything. Here's my life of just the last 2 years alone, just suffering for nothing. I've been destroyed by a medication that I did not know was dangerous back when I took it. It has lasted years and years and years and years of suffering because it destroyed my body and I didn't know any better because nobody told us anything. It was the early years of the internet. So most of us didn't even know, you know. And you have to just sit there and listen to that, and you don't want to. It makes you sad. And I have a cousin, another cousin, that he didn't come this year. Well, his life is similar to mine. Not none of them are as bad as mine. None of them. But his is similar in that he doesn't have a good job. He kind of got in a lot of trouble growing up, had kids, um, got divorced, kind of a wild guy, different than what I was. And he doesn't come because apparently his kids, they're into it with him, so he doesn't get to see his kids or his grandkids. He has grandkids now, believe me, because they had children so young. It's a long story. But he doesn't come to the get-togethers. Well, I have an aunt on my dad's side that's still, she never married. She's in her late 60s. And she was really down this year. She didn't even want us to come over and open presents, and finally just canceled all the Christmas, canceled it all because she has another family member on her side that's very very sick. Apparently they're dying, and she didn't want anybody to come over. She just didn't want to be around anybody. And I think the reason they don't want to be around anybody, just like me, is when your life is really bad. Sure, some of it might be your fault. I think some of it is her fault, my aunt. She never married and had kids. I think some of that was her fault. I'm not going to get into all that, but I mean, I just think some of it may be. But I also know that nothing in life is perfect, and none of the ones I'm talking about that are happy, they ain't done all that great in their lives either, but they're happy. Not perfect. Their lives aren't perfect, but they're pretty doggone good. And I mean, I'd take in a heartbeat. Security, some financial security, joy, something to look forward to. I don't have any of those things. And I think what it is people like my aunt and now my cousin and me, we don't want to see it. You just don't want to be around it. Yeah, misery does love company. And it's not that I wish them ill will. I don't wish them to die. I don't wish them to get sick. I just don't want to be around it. I'd rather just be to myself. Because I know that my life is never going to be much of anything. Um, I'm never going to have a lot of money. I'm never going to probably get married. I'm probably never going to have anything. I mean, they have things they can look forward to. I have nothing to look forward to. They have their kids growing up. That's something to look forward to. Yeah, something could happen. You never know, but probably ain't nothing going to really happen. I don't have that to look forward to. They have the next trip they can take. Sure, something could happen, but they have the next trip they can take. They have this. They have that. I don't have that at all. I haven't been on a vacation in, let's see, nearly 20, 22 years. I never got to do a lot. And I've never been more than about 2 hour drive away from my house. Ain't been that far. That was me doing that the last couple of years. So you get where I'm coming from here. You just don't want to be around it. You just don't want this. You don't want to see it. And when you think of people that you know that you're better than, now I don't mean better in an arrogant way, better looking or better intelligent. I just mean a better person. And it drives you crazy because you're thinking, why is their life so good? It's not perfect. We get it, but it's a good life. I would take it. Shoot, yeah, but I'll never have it. And I wonder if that's why, like people like me, my aunt, my cousin, they just don't want to be around it. They don't want to feel that pain. It hurts, and especially when you don't really think they care about you at all. I don't mean they hate me, it's nothing like that, but they're not really thinking of me at all. Um, and the other reason I think a lot of times we just don't want to go around it is because there's nobody there that cares about us. For most of my life, I had very little love in it. Um, my mom loved me. I think my dad loved me before he died. Um, my grandmother loved me. My aunt loved me, the one that died. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And I think both of my other grandparents, my dad's parents, in their own way, I think they loved me. They were odd people. I don't really miss them. Um, had no relationship with them at all. But all the people that I care about on my family side, except for my mom, are all gone. She's old now. And my aunt that I used to really love passed away about 10 years ago of cancer. And she would always buy me a gift. I remember, and I don't mean that I miss her because of gifts. That's not, what I'm talking about. But she would always buy me a book because they had pretty good money. And she would always buy me a book. And she said because she was always so impressed at how I wanted to learn. She said, because I hate reading. She would tell me that and she'd laugh. She'd say, I just hate reading and that you love to read. I wish I did. She said, I wish I could just sit down and read a book, but it's just not me. Um, and she was always impressed how I wanted to learn. And she was close to me. I used to spend the night with her son, my cousin, the one that's married and has the kids. Um, and I think she liked me. She liked having me around. Um, we were close. And I'd talk to her a little bit about stuff, and she would listen to me. She acted like she cared. I think she knew that I had a bad deal in life. I think she knew that, and I think she kind of felt sorry for me. Um, it hurt me when she died a lot. And then my grandmother was the same way. She never had a lot of money in her life, but she bought me a gift every year. I would tell her not to because I didn't need her gifts. I knew that she loved me, you know. And I remember that she would always give me money and she would encourage me about being a Christian and a preacher. She was so proud of that when I did that at that time. This was a long time ago when I did that, but she was so proud. I can remember. She was a great grandmother. I miss her a lot. She died about 4 years ago. 5 years ago, excuse me. And now she's gone. She was one of the main reasons I went to the holiday get-togethers after my aunt died. She was the last one there, and it was her and Mom. That's the only reason I went. Um, I never talked to anybody else much, and now I don't have anybody now. I've always been my own man. Um, Marriage was never something I jumped into. I was never desperate for love like that, and I've never had love. You know, it might be different if everybody kissed my butt. Nobody kissed my butt, and I was desperate. Never was desperate for love. And everybody I was around, got to get married, got to get married, got to blah 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 blah. And I don't know. I just don't fit in there anymore. I just don't want to go. There's nobody there that cares about me except my mom. I just don't want to go anymore. I may not go next year. I just sat there today away from everybody. I didn't say anything. I didn't talk to anybody. Nobody really talked to me either. I was just sad, I guess. It's just, you know, you do. That's about all I got to say. It's just, you know, I feel like a lot of people are in my situation. And to my family, it's all secular. You've got the secular people, the ones that take the trips. I'm sure God very rarely comes into their mind. Um, and then you got my cousin and her. Yeah, it comes in their mind. They go to church, but I don't think that they're serious Christians. Like George Barna wrote in his book, The Seven Faith Tribes, the different faith groups in the country, and he mentioned casual Christians, and I kind of think that's what they are. About, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I think they're casual. They'll go to church, but they're not going to strain. They're not going to do nothing to rock the boat in their life. Um, they're not going to go too far. And here I was, the guy that was the real deal. I was the real Christian guy, man. And seeing them happy, you know, I guess I'm just kind of jaded. I guess I'm just a little bit jealous. I've studied, anybody that's suffered in their life, if you're a Bible believer, and I am, has studied the book of Job. There's not anybody alive that, hasn't studied the book of Job. And, he suffered, but obviously not his whole life. He went through a lot of hell when he suffered. But he had a good period in his life. Uh, he was very wealthy. We think he was probably some kind of political ruler. And I've never had any good times in my life, ever. I mean, as a whole, no, I've suffered most of it. I guess I always will suffer most of it. I've never really had a good time in my life. My childhood was very rough. Went through a lot, suffered a lot. Um, I had autism, my whole life. It affected me mentally, affected me emotionally. It affected my body coordination. I had poor hand coordination, poor motor control, and you know, it was rough. Then I grow up. I had a sleep problem that got me on the stupid meds. I was so desperate. I went on meds. Uh, got on those. Got off of them years later. Suffered tremendously. The last 2 years, I've been in a car wreck. Broke my arm, um, shoulder. Broke my left shoulder. I can't walk very well. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what I did to suffer like I did. I don't know what I've ever done. I never did anything. I was never an idiot. I didn't chase women. I didn't um, drink and party when I was young. I did none of those things. I was a great kid. I was a kid that you would love to have. Now it's over. I don't know. This knee is really bothering me after I hit it because I really messed it up now. Um, Trying to think what to say, trying to gather all my thoughts here. Sorry for pauses, but oh yeah, I look at them all and they're happy and I'm not. But I have nothing in life that I really wanted. Now, whether I deserved it or not, I'm saying I don't have it though. They have pretty much what they wanted. Not everything. They don't have everything. We get it. But they have pretty much what they wanted, right? And I look at them and I think, when Satan came to God to tempt him with, about tempt God to, you know, when God mentioned about Job that he's a good man, he's godly. What do you think of that, Satan? And Satan said, take everything he has. Of course he serves you. You've given him everything, a great wife, lots of children, a lot of wealth. Take it all away, and he'll curse you to your face. And we know Job didn't do that. Job was one that was very faithful. And then God, he came back to God, and God said, he's still faithful even after taking all that from him. I'll let you take all that from him, but you couldn't hurt his health, or you couldn't do nothing to him. And he still serves me, even though I took all that away. And then Satan said, take his health away too. He'll, curse you to your face. So God told Satan, you can take all of his health away, but um, don't kill him, but you can make him sick. Of course, God, Satan made him deathly sick. So Job lost all of his wealth, all of his children, got very sick, and everybody blamed him for it. All of his friends, his wife, it was his fault. You're evil. Just curse God and die. It's your fault, Job. And, and even then, though, he didn't turn away. But I wonder how many people would turn away. I think of my family and I look at them and I think, you know, your lives are pretty good. They're not perfect. My uncle lost his wife to cancer years ago, about 10 years ago. But his life is still pretty good. He's got good money. He can go do what he wants. Can I do that? Not even close. Not even close. And I just wonder, it's easy for them to be happy, but they're happy because they have everything they wanted. Take it away. How happy would they be? I don't think they would be. I think they'd be as bitter as me. Reverse it. Take everything they have. Let me have it. I'd be the happy one. Oh yeah, y'all come on over. Woo! Would they be willing to come over? Because my cousin, before he got married, he would come for a short period of time and leave. Why would he leave so soon? I mean, of course, he ain't gonna leave his home. It's where his family is. You know, I mean, that's where our get together was. It was at his house, so he's not gonna leave. But he didn't stay long back then. Why? He wasn't happy. And sorry about that. It said it paused. I have no idea why that did that. Because it's still running. Okay. Well, I'm about ready to wrap this up anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think why did he not come? Why did or he came, but he didn't stay long? Why? Wasn't happy. So I guess in some ways I don't feel as bad. But I think that's why a lot of people don't like the holidays. They're miserable and they just don't want to be around it, and it reminds them of everything they don't have, and it makes them sad of the people they've lost. And I think that was also a problem with my aunt. She's losing everybody, and she's alone. She's never been married, never had kids. Both her parents are gone. Her brother died. The only sister that's alive that she has, they don't get along, and it's the other sister's fault. Believe me, just trust me on that. Um, Now this woman she knows is very sick. Everybody's dying, and it's hurting her bad. And she just wants to be out of all this. And other people, like I said, they're not happy, so they're not happy. They don't want to be around it. That's why I think a lot of people hate the holidays. I'm not against the holidays. I've studied the history of Christmas. And as a godly person and the history of Christmas and a belief in the providence of God, I think Christmas is a great thing. But I also believe that for those that don't have anything, that don't have family, that don't have a lot of happiness, it's a bad thing. That's just what I believe. Well, guys, I ran this video probably longer than I should, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. Um, all the trolls can come on and leave a comment. I don't care. I like doing this. It helps me to get everything off my chest. So take care, guys. Any comments you want to leave, I'd appreciate them. I read every comment, so I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.